Manhattan for the Ward versus Kovalev II has been announced. If you don't know, unless you've been living under a rock, it's happening June the 17th in the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas on HBO Pay-Per-View, of course. So this week, Monday, there's a press conference in New York. Got to get to that, right? Tuesday, it's in Oakland, Andre Ward's home, and Wednesday, it's going to be in LA. So, of course, I got to catch the New York half. I may send somebody to one of the other ones. I'm not quite sure yet. But basically, I'm glad that the fight is done. A lot of people was like, well, Andre Ward is bitching. He's talking about retiring. And I think him and his team are smart enough to understand. And as you can see, the fight is done. So, they were smart enough to understand that they couldn't retire off of that win over Kovalev, that win on paper, because that's one of those type of fights where they had to go directly into a rematch. It was too big of a fight, and it was too much money still on the table because, in my opinion, if they do everything right, and they are doing a press tour. Remember, the first press conference for Kovalev versus Ward didn't even show up, and it was at some janky-looking place. But this one, the one in New York, is that I can't give out the the location. I'm supposed to, but it's in a nice place. It's in a nice upscale place. I can't wait to get there. So of course I'm going to take like some pictures and of the place and have a nice little panorama of the joint. You can check all that stuff out on my Instagram. It starts at 10:30 a.m. Starts at 10:30 a.m. I've never been to New York that early before, and I'm not really looking forward to it. So it means I'm going to be getting in Manhattan like 9:20 or some shit, right there at Penn Station, So put it this way, the whole thing is there's a lot of there's going to be a lot going on that day. You got Kovalev, who's been on social media talking all this shit. He getting biblical with it. You got Andre Ward just being on some humble, like, all right, we'll see you on fight night, no more excuses. This is some real shit. You got this super religious dude, right? Or supposed to be super religious, but he comes on, he's a very humble religious dude. Andre, son of God Ward, you got to live up to that, right? And then you got this shit talking broken English Russian, and he be saying all kind of crazy ass shit. He's been saying some crazy ass shit over the last several months, saying like he posted the photo. Let's go look at that shit. He's savage, dude is this, put it this way, I guess the whole thing I'm trying to say is the fight is going to be lit. I'm hyped. Now, I can't say that I'm going to the fight. It may send someone. I mean, it's like one of them situations like this. Put it this way. As y'all can see, I'm getting to more events now. I'm in, any type of New York event every 2 weeks now. If I was to go to Vegas, it would only be for 2 days. I would get out there probably for the weigh-in, I'll check in, and then my goal would be to leave like right after the post-fight press conference. I want to be out there the least amount of time as possible. So I'm thinking about it. So already on our schedule, T-Street Controversy and Fight View 360, we already have we're covering the Tommy Langford versus Evantil Katsides fight. That's April the 22nd. That is going to be for the WBO interim title at 160. So basically, that's a future Billy Joe Saunders or that's the fight that Billy Joe Saunders paid step aside for so he can fight Golovkin. We're going to talk about that later on in the video. So we're covering that fight. I'm going to be at Berto versus Porter. I'm covering that fight. I'm going to be there. What else? In May, if everything goes to plan, so far we're doing everything we're supposed to do, politics aside, we are going to be providing full coverage for Brook versus Spence. It's going to be the biggest UK fight we ever covered. I'm talking about we're going to be at the final press conference, weigh in the fight, and we're going to be really doing, some good work. Shout out to Karen Hebden, who is our newest correspondent over there, putting in some major work in the UK. What else? And on May the 27th, I'm supposed to be at my first ever Top Rank event, which is Crawford versus Diaz. And what fight is in June? So basically, June is kind of open for me. You know, so the goal is I want to get to one fight a month. You know, I think it's time, right? It's time now, right? I've been doing this shit fucking damn near 7 years now, you know? So far we're doing that, but also I'm not burning myself out. And I'm making sure that going forward, I've learned like this. You know, I can't, I took like 18 months, 19 months. I was real inactive, you know, on YouTube. And that really took a toll. That's why I've been stuck at this between 23 and 26,000 subscriber mark for like a year and a half or some change, because you'll be surprised how many subscribers I've lost through not being consistent. So now I'm at a situation right now where I'm not really concerned about the views, because I see that the arrows and everything are going up, but I know the shit's not going to happen overnight. So the goal is not to how can I put it? The goal is not to catch these or my competitors and subscribers, but to leapfrog them. And in order to leapfrog them, I had to get the website, and now we have to up the quality. So that's going to bring in droves of subscribers once they see, you know, that this is an official studio. That's the whole goal. So these older, I just haven't had time to do it yet. I got a lot on my plate. But these panels and all this shit are coming down. We're not going to use this desk anymore. We're going full 1080p in the streams. We're only going to be wearing Fight View 360 stuff, from the hoodies to not just hoodies to shirts to hats. You know, we're going to have a television. You know, that this is all stuff I've been working on. You know, like building for, you know, like realistically, I would say like the last 2 years. So, you know, I just thought I'd give you guys a little update, but that's the whole goal. Like, I know I'm not going to, you know, catch. No, I'm not. You know, it's too late. You know, once upon a time, you know, that was long ago. Once upon a time, I was literally, you know, like neck and neck with it, you know. But now that shit is that shit is long gone. So now it's just to leapfrog them, and I'm just blessed to be in a situation where, you know, that I was really not having to work under stress. Like, I was grieving. There was a lot of shit going on in my personal life. I needed that time, you know, like away from YouTube. But now, you know, we're here now, you know. So we're going to be covering all these fights. And as I told you, when I go to these events, it's like this, right? I'm not going. I think I've proven I think I've proven that my boxing knowledge is legit, right? You know, even though it's going to be some times, I understand there's going to be some times where you may say this fucking guy is nuts, or he on some dickhead shit. He be saying crazy, you know. But for the most part, we're not going to get along all the time. There's going to be fights that we're going to disagree with. You know, there's going to be shit we're going to disagree with. But when it comes to like my news is legit. I think I've proven it. My news is legit. And my job is really to let you know about the politics of the sport. You see what I'm saying? So you can start putting shit together in your head where you think like, well, who the fuck is such and such? How's he getting a title shot? So therefore, what do you know to do? You know to go look at the rankings. You know to go do some research, and you can start seeing, you know, how these, you know, sanctioning bodies and everything be finessing shit. You know, that's my job on here, is to educate, to let you know who these fighters are, not only before they get in the ring, but after, you know, like who they may fight after. You see what I'm saying? So I told you from the beginning, listen, I don't gamble. I don't play cards. I don't even know how to play I Declare War. I don't even, listen, on some real shit, I don't know how to play Uno. You know, I don't know how to play no slot machines. I don't gamble. I don't do it. So when it's like this, right? People say, well, you know, if you really stop going with your heart and stop saying dickhead shit, you know boxing. But I tell you, sometimes I be going my heart, man. I be thinking, I be like, yeah, I know such and such supposed to win, but I think he's got a shot. You know, I be saying dumbass shit like that sometimes. You know, but the thing is, don't listen. I don't tell y'all to listen to my predictions. I don't be like, yo, I'm telling you, he's going to win. If you don't listen to me, you know, I'm telling you, just listen, y'all gonna lose some money. Don't gamble. Don't gamble off my predictions. However, gamble off of the knowledge that I give you. If I say, yo, this person is hurt or yada, 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 like gamble off of that shit. But if I say somebody going to win, sometimes I be going my heart, man. I've been known to do it. I've been known to do it. So like I said, there's going to be some times we're going to disagree. They're going to be like, man, this nigga's a dickhead. Oh, excuse me. I should have dropped that N-bomb. But they're going to be like, man, he's a dickhead. He always said some. But like I said. But anyway, moving on. So the point I was trying to make is when I go to this press conference, I'm trying to ask the real questions. You know, I'm not going there to fuck around. I ain't going to New York. New York is a beautiful city. It's just that it's like this, right? How can I explain it? I explained it before. It's not that I'm antisocial. I was a bartender for 10 years. I love the money, but I used to go through like extreme anxiety attacks, like going into work because I was a popular and well-known bartender. I made a lot of money, but people didn't know like the pain I was going through inside, like people all in your face, 9, 10-hour shifts. Don't get me wrong, at the end of the night, you got a pocket full of cash, but it's like this, right? I'm going to these events. I'm going to these events on a mission. I'm not going there to bullshit around. You know, I got some questions I'm coming with. And I'm going to be polite. I'm going to be cordial. Everybody knows when I come to these events, it's already known. That's how I got this far, you know, because people thought I was going to be going to these events on some wild shit, asking all kind of crazy questions. And no, I'll be on some calm, cool, professional shit. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, off the camera at these events that I be at. You know, I be networking. You know, so that being said, when I go to these events, there's questions that I gotta ask that people want to know. For example, Kovalev, simple shit. Yo, are you gonna knock him out this time, bro? Andre Ward, what do you have to do to make sure you really, really win this fight in all people's eyes? Now, obviously, I'm not gonna word it like that. I'm gonna word it much more professionally to get a more an in-depth answer. You know, but I'm not going to I'm not going to this shit to ask like, well, what is it like to fight in the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas? You don't fuck that shit. You don't fuck about that. You know? And I understand those are the type of questions you have to ask, you know, for like press releases and stuff like that, but not for me. You know, not for me. Especially having to be around all them people and all that cigarette smoke out there and shit. You know, New York scares me to death. And then just so happened, this is on like the top floor. I can't get the details on the top floor, some high rise where there's nothing but glass around it. You're overlooking all of New York. I'm all at the top. I don't be out there, man. Are you practicing to become a better boxing commentator? Yes, I practice all the time. And what that does is I used to give speeches in college. You know, that's how I learned how to like do public speaking, because this is what it is. So when you do public speaking, you can't say ums and ahs, and you got to be very calm, and your sentences got to flow thoroughly. You know, so when you're a commentator, you got to speak in burst. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it takes practice, but yeah, I'll be working on it, you know, because the goal, like basically, as I told y'all, like I want to be a boxing promoter one day. So when I wanted to be a boxing promoter in like 2012, I didn't know shit about the sport, nowhere near what I know now. So I thought, well, wait a minute. Let me go the media route, because it's hard to really explain in the short amount of time I have to explain it, because we got to get to boxing. You learn so much by going the media route of the business than I feel any other than any other way. You know, I've learned so much about like the sanctioning bodies. Basically, like I feel like this, right? If I had the finances, which I will sometime in like the next 5 years or so, 3 or 5 years, you know, and I become a boxing promoter, I know how to maneuver my fighters through the rankings. As crazy as it may sound, I'm not talking about being corrupt, but I'm talking about like when it comes to the WBA, I'm going right at them. You know, if I got a fighter and you know he got a nice solid record, you know, I'm going to be maneuvering this shit out those rankings. Because, you know, the WBA, you can go to them with any old thing and say, hey, listen, can I get that? Can my fighter fight for that WBA Oriental title? Then after that, can he fight for that WBA Intercontinental International title? Then after that, can he fight for that WBA Domestic International Local title, whatever that shit is? Then start moving his ass up. Getting close to that, like, you know, what's up with that WBA interim? Can we get that? Yo, you gotta know. Yo, listen, that's the type of shit I be learning. It's like, yo, we gotta get that WBA interim. What's up with that? You know. So that's the reason why I chose like to go the media route. Like as I said before, like when I go to media events, I'm looking at all like the cameras. I'm looking at who they're hiring to take care of certain shit. You know, I'm looking at like, well, who are the first people you should call for a press, like for a press like for a press conference, who's the media members that you need to be there, like stuff like that, stuff like that. So right now, I'm confident that if I was a publicist, or somebody that was hired in like the PR department for like a promotional company, I'm confident I can do a good job, more than a good job, especially because of my demographic reach. But however, that's not what I want to do. I'm cool. I got too much on my plate now. I'm already running a news publication. I keep forgetting that. I got a fucking news website. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I got a news website. It's crazy. Me, a news website. It's crazy. But that's a lot of work in itself, and then maintaining, doing videos. So what other questions that Kovalev and Ward need to be asked? And the next subject we're going to move on to, obviously, we got to talk about Lomachenko. My tea is cold. We got to talk about Lomachenko versus Sosa and what's next for him. But let's get this press conference out of the way. I just, I'm not gonna lie, man. I want to hear Kovalev cuss up a storm. I want to hear him cuss. I want to hear Kovalev cuss. Is that a crime? Because I know he's gonna say some crazy shit. Now I'm not gonna try to get his feathers ruffled. I'm not gonna try to intentionally, like ruffle those feathers. I'm not gonna try to intentionally ruffle him, but I do want to try to get him, to speak his mind. So that's what I'm gonna be working on tomorrow, on how I'm gonna like word my questions to try to, I want him to be open. I want him to be like, he's no good son of a bitch, I want to be, he say son of, I want him to be I want him to go in, See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking forward. You can't be, Oscar Martinez says you can't be straight and forward with Kovalev or else you get sensitive. What do you mean? Like, so basically, now I've been working on it, but I know tomorrow I really got to work on my questions. So I'm trying to figure out, like I want to ask him, obviously I got to ask him, well, what are you going to do differently this time, but not in that way, because that's the same way other motherfuckers going to ask it probably before I get to it. You see what I'm saying? So I got to figure out a unique way to ask him, but something that's going to involve him talking for a long period of time, or a good period of time about shit, So that's what I want. So we gotta figure that out. Now, when it comes to Andre Ward, of course, he's not going to say everything. But what I want to get from him is I want to get deep, detailed answers, on how he felt the first half of the fight went, the part of the fight where many feel he was losing, and then the second half of the fight, he turned it around. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not going to talk about who won or who lost, but my opinion is Andre Ward won barely. But as Max Kellerman said, and as I watched the fight with multiple people, at one point in time, 100 plus people, I watched it, multiple times. The rounds that I gave to Andre Ward was the only rounds he could have possibly won, and those were close rounds. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard to really call a close fight a fight that's that close a robbery, especially when all judges judge fights differently for different shit. As I said, I used the analogy of simply that you may have one judge, right, who may like the sweet science, that sweet nectar of the purest juice of the sciences. You may have another judge that's like, man, I don't like that slow ass bullshit. I want them to get out there and fight. You may have a judge that may like, yo, look at all those jabs that's landing. He's jabbing his fucking face off. Then you may have another judge that be like, well, power shots mean more than jabs. So them jabs ain't shit to me. You see what I'm saying? Exactly, foul pole boxing. There's no real, there's no real art to it. There's no real hardcore judging criteria. You know, so it's no. See, look, y'all motherfuckers missing the point. You know, see, this is what we do, right? I'm not one of those people that's going to argue with your opinion on who won. You know, I'm not one of them people like, oh, you don't know boxing. He lost the fight, yada yada. No, I'm not one of those people. I respect everybody's opinions. So we can go back and forth all day. We can go back and forth all day. And you know, you want me to cuss you out? Then fine, I'll cuss you the fuck out. But then we'll be cool later. But don't fuck with me, man. Don't fuck with my opinion. You know, it's just my opinion. Why am I not entitled to it? But however, I can see because I'm open-minded and I'm rational, unlike some of you son of a bitches. I can see how people say Kovalev won the fight. Just like how I picked Canelo. I picked Canelo to beat Lara, and he beat Lara. You know, in my opinion. In my opinion. But remember, the fights, those are highly controversial fights on all ends. I picked Golovkin to beat Jacobs. You know? So it depends, man. It depends. It depends. So like I said, we gotta, you know, I'm excited for that press conference. That's why I'm gonna make sure I'm rested up, man. I got my meds, you know. I printed out my little fucking certificate, my coupon for my Symbicort. Go pick that up in the morning. You know, I'm gonna make sure I'm good and ready for that. I'm gonna shave on a Sunday, go see my barber on a Sunday. You know? You know, I want to hear what they have to say. Also, of course, a lot of people are wondering if Sergey Kovalev is still with John David Jackson. Now, John David Jackson was just tweeting on the behalf of Kovalev. Remember that a couple of weeks ago? Where before the fight was signed, it was going back and forth on Twitter. John David Jackson, Kovalev, and Andre Ward. But many are still wondering if John David Jackson is going to be in Kovalev's corner for this fight. I interviewed John David Jackson back in the beginning of December and got his prediction on the fight. I mean, not his prediction, but what he feels need to happen in the rematch. Because remember, he trained Bernard Hopkins. But yet, looking at the schedule for the media, the press tour this week, right? It's a press tour. You should expect everybody to be there. Now, remember, they're hitting New York on Monday, Oakland on Tuesday, and LA on Wednesday. John David Jackson is at none of them. Virgil Hunter is only at the one in LA and Oakland, but not at the New York one. You know, so it's kind of weird. It's raising some questions. You know, it's raising some questions. So have we been on? We started at okay, so we got another 7 minutes to talk about Kovalev versus Ward. And then we can move on to the next topic. So if now we don't know for sure, you know, I'm just saying that it looks kind of weird that John David, I gotta make some more tea. That John David Jackson is not with. It looks kind of weird that John David Jackson is not with Kovalev on this press tour, but yet Virgil Hunter is on two parts of the tour. So it's like one is on the East Coast, one is on the West Coast. But why couldn't he make it? Even though doesn't he live down in Florida or somewhere down south? But still, basically, it's kind of weird. Fucking got their remotes everywhere. So I got to make some more tea. In the meantime, we want to listen to some stuff from Kovalev and Andre Ward. But let's do it this way. Yeah, let's do it this way. And then what's the next topic? Oh, Lomachenko versus Sosa. Rigondeaux is also supposed to be on Kovalev versus Ward too. So like I said, if I go, we're covering a fight a month now. So we're doing really, really, really good. We're covering a fight a month now, and multiple press events a month now. So, let me forget what the fuck I was doing. Damn it! Why don't y'all shut up? Get the hell what I was doing. Everything's so slow. Somebody probably fucking welfare in my internet. I gotta change my internet passcode. Motherfuckers out there welfaring it, huh? What do I do to deserve this treatment? Let me make some tea. I gotta pour this shit out. It's just cold. It's horrible.
Regulation here in Nevada that the Nevada judges officiate the fights. We came in here.
His face. Look at his face and.
Right back.
You know, like I just still to fight it. You know, like I'm trying to stop him again because it's gonna be not interesting, like a short fight. You know, like, and I knew that I have a control. Like if I got his once, I can deliver my right or left hand again, like in next round. But it didn't happen. You know, like I got some experience from this fight. You know, like decision today not on my side, but next time in rematch, I will do something much more, like much better. Пойдем, иди сюда. Пойдем сюда, его посади на так. Excuse me.
Sergey, it seemed like you were perhaps throwing your right hand a little less frequently than you did in the first half of the fight. Was there anything wrong with your right hand?
Could you repeat again, please?
Yeah, it seemed like you were throwing that right hand less frequently than you did.
My arms is good, yes. Yeah, my hands okay. Yeah.
Nothing changed really physically for you in the second half?
No, because you know, like it's what I saw that he sees my my shot from the right, and I didn't do this. You know, like I didn't try to catch him from my left hand, and I got a lot of punches like from the left. Like look at his face, and my face. Like who is the winner?
The fight was actually decided because two of the judges gave him the 12th round. Did you feel like you won the 12th round? Do you remember the 12th round? And then did you in any way let off the gas in the second half of the fight in any of those rounds?
Yeah, I think so that I won. Last round, I lost just maybe 3 rounds or 4 maximum. And once I made knocking down, you know, like come on, like it's opinion from the side, you know, judges, like. But witnesses was all stadium of T-Mobile Arena. Everybody saw what happened. Everybody saw, like, and look at his face and my face. Who is winner?
Actually, I have a question for Kathy. Kathy, Sergey bemoaned the fact that all 3 judges were from the U.S. He said, let's not make it political. This is boxing. Will you try to insist that all 3 judges are not from the U.S. in the rematch?
No, it's the regulation here in Nevada that the Nevada judges officiate the fights. We came in here, look, it's boxing. You always know that you can have a difference of opinion with judges, and I'm not going to go accuse people of having doing anything deliberately. I understand it's about opinions. I understand that crowds have effects on judges. Every time the crowd favorite, you know, lands a jab, they're oohing and eyeing in a way they're not. When Sergey was landing, it affects judges. It does. I know nobody's perfect, and I'm not going to go out there and accuse anybody of anything. I'm disappointed, especially when I look at the cards and see how they were marked. I don't think Sergey lost one of the first 6 rounds. I really don't. And he had a 2-point round in the second. I think he won the 11th or the 12th. I clearly think he won the 12th. And when a guy is, backpedaling and scoring an occasional jab and wrestling, clearly that's hard to judge, but I think, in that context, you got to look at who's trying to make the fight and who's trying to run. And some judges like running and some don't. And obviously the judges tonight enjoyed running and they enjoyed wrestling, but this was a boxing match.
Great middle, Kathy. Sergey. Sergey, my question for you. You seemed with almost one of your first jabs of the fight to really hurt him with the first shot. And then, of course, you had the knockdown in round 2. Did you feel like at that point, this is going to be an early night, I'm going to get him out of there?
Shoot. I'm using a pen. Stop right there. I just needed that to, have something playing in the background while I got my tea. So, all right, real quick, let's do predictions. Listen, if Andre Ward pulls this win off, right? Do you think he retires? Do you think he'll say something like, "Well, I've done all I needed to do in the sport," like that type of situation? Because his mandatory is very likely going to be Artur Beterbiev. Will he and his team put the pressure on the WBC to force another purse bid between Adonis Stevenson? Remember, Kovalev had a chance after Adonis Stevenson left HBO. He had a chance to fight Adonis Stevenson. There was a purse bid. Kovalev's team pulled out of the purse bid because Al Heyman and PBC was throwing around a lot of change at the time. But Roc Nation has the money. Main Events didn't have the money to go head up with in a purse bid with Al Heyman. But Roc Nation does. So do they go after the winner of the now confirmed Adonis Stevenson versus Fonfara? So listen to this. You got Adonis Stevenson versus Fonfara 2. So it was confirmed now. I guess you could say the winner of Chad Dawson and Fonfara. By the way, if you don't know, Fonfara fought Chad Dawson and knocked him out on the undercard, the untelevised portion of the undercard of Thurman versus Garcia. So now Fonfara is fighting. It's been confirmed. Fonfara is fighting Adonis Stevenson for that WBC 175-pound title in Canada, likely on Showtime June the 3rd. So now I'm wondering, on June the 17th, does the winner of that go after Adonis Stevenson? Because it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense for the winner of these two fights to fight in November. Because remember, they're both fighting in June. You got Stevenson Fonfara June the 3rd. You got Ward Kovalev II, June the 17th. That's Ward Kovalev, WBO, WBA, and WBO, WBA, and IBF, and now the ring light heavyweight titles. The ring title that they took from Adonis Stevenson. So now it makes perfect sense for all of them to fight each other. I mean, it makes perfect sense for the winner of those two to fight in, let's say if they fight in June, they could take off August. They could take off October. No, excuse me. They could take off July and then get back in there, and fight in November, December at the latest. But see, the problem I have with this is, I know Kovalev would be down, but the thing is, if it comes to a purse bid again, they just don't have the money. They just have to get the deal done, But now with Al Heyman letting his fighters fight on HBO Pay-Per-View, we could see a Kovalev, if Kovalev wins, versus Adonis Stevenson on HBO Pay-Per-View in the future. It's possible now, in my opinion. But if Andre Ward wins, Andre Ward's the type to say, well, I just want to take some time off with my family, and we might not see him again. I'm just not confident that Andre Ward wants to be undisputed champion. I'm just not confident. So, to me, he'd be the type to drop a title and say, I still have two, because I want to take time off to be with my family. So that's the biggest issue I'm worried about. So only time will tell. Lomachenko versus Sosa. Hey, listen. I said Salsa. Sosa. Hey, listen. We already knew it was going to happen, right? We knew it was going to happen. We knew that Jason Sosa, he had heart. He dropped his belt to take this fight. And will you be unbiased? I'm going to start blocking people for that. Because whenever I ever be, I don't give a, excuse my language, I don't give a fuck about these fighters as far as I'm going to ride with him because I just like him as a fighter. I don't be giving a fuck. As a matter of fact, you get it on a 300-second timeout. Don't put me in the rest with these. I hate being grouped in with these other people, man. I don't be like, oh man, I'm going to give this fighter a little push because, because I just ride with him. I don't be caring, If a fighter lose, they lose. Y'all be having me twisted. I'm not no fanboy. But I think we all knew the outcome of what Lomachenko versus Sosa was going to be. So we got to give Sosa credit for taking the fight. We got to give him credit for dropping his belt. But at the same time, it's like now, Lomachenko needs a big fight. Now, if you look at that division, if you look at Gervonta Davis won't fight him, not because he don't want to fight him. Floyd is not going to allow it to happen. And Floyd is going to be on some shit where I don't want to negotiate with Bob Arum, even though guess what? Guess what? You don't want to believe it, but Gervonta Davis is really an Al Heyman fighter. Mayweather Promotions is Al Heyman. I'm sure you're probably noticing that. I'm sure you're probably noticed already. But some people don't want to believe it. They just be like, oh, no, it's Mayweather doing all. No. Do you think the person that's calling to make these fights, do you think it's Mayweather that be on the phone with the promoters and everything like that? That'd be Al Heyman doing all those intricate deals and shit. He probably have Leonard Ellaby with him trying to show him the ropes, and then Leonard Ellaby just relayed his shit back to Floyd. So I'm just wondering, I don't, but the thing is, Floyd can intervene and say, I don't want my fighter under my banner, even though Al Heyman, I respect you, I don't want him fighting over there. We're not going to see Lomachenko versus Gervonta Davis. Why do you think that HBO didn't even mention it? It wasn't because they was hating on Floyd or anything. They know the shit's not going to happen. We as fans know that Floyd's not going to let him near Lomachenko. We know this already. You got Corrales for that only WBA belt now that Sosa was defeated and he gave up his title. But does he really want, is that really a big enough fight for us to not, it's a unification, but he's not going to get no real love for it, So it's rough, man. You got Miguel Berchik versus Takashi Miura. That's coming up. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but the WBC said that it's coming up. So he can't wait for the winner of that because he needs to fight in the meantime. Just like somebody said, well, he can fight the winner of Gervonta Davis and Liam Walsh, or Miguel Berchik and Takashi Miura. The Miura fight hasn't even been signed yet, and the Gervonta Davis Liam Walsh, as I said, we already talked about the fact that they're not going to allow Gervonta Davis to fight him. So now I'm wondering, well, listen, he's got to move up to 135. 135 WBO. The WBO would make him the mandatory. After Felix Verdejo is next, the WBO would make him the mandatory for Terry Flanagan, who won today against Petr Petrov, and he didn't look good. Whether it was the styles, the southpaw versus the orthodox, whatever. Lomachenko at 135 can beat Terry Flanagan. When you look at IBF 135-pound champion Robert Easter, Lomachenko can beat him. But then where things get interesting is you have Mikey Garcia, who's the WBC champion. You have Jorge Linares, who's the WBC Diamond champion. That Diamond championship is over that regular WBC championship in this situation. And then he's also the WBA champion, But you got Bob Arum and Golden Bull who ain't been making fights. By the way, something I noticed, and I hope everything is all right, is that Bob Arum has been MIA this week. They had the press conference for Crawford versus Diaz, which is the big fight. He wasn't at that press conference, but maybe because him and Lou DiBella don't really have a good relationship. I don't know. I don't know. And then you had this fight, which was in a brand new arena, by the way. You know, and I don't think he was there. You know, brand new casino. You would think he would be there for that. He's old school like that. So I just hope it's one of those situations where he's just like taking off. It's like, all right, well, I'm older now. So, you know, I'll go to this fight, but not go to that one. You know, so maybe I guess we may see him at Crawford versus Diaz for the fight, but he didn't come to, you know, like this stuff. But he is, you know, like what, 85 or something. Bob Arum is up there. You've been around for a long ass time. Yeah, he's been around for he's been around for like, you know, like decades and shit. You know? I'm just trying to burn myself. It's delicious. It's delicious. So, looking at the landscape of, in fact, let's go look at it real quick. Let's see here how we're gonna do it. Yeah, Al Heyman like 187 years old. That's the lore behind it. He's like 187. Like that's not really him. That's a synth. That be like that the pictures you see. Al Heyman is just a shriveled up brain in this machine, this computer machine thing. That's Al Heyman. So listen, like I said, this is the division. You know, you got Miguel Burchak. Remember, he fought Francisco Vargas and got that big upset win. You know, but he's fighting Takashi Miura. We don't know when that's going to happen. That's like going to happen in June, maybe. You know, we got Orlando Salido. That fight can happen. Why won't it happen? You know, why won't it happen? Make it happen. You know, but in 130, you know, that's pretty much this fight and this fight. Now, he's the WBA champion, the only WBA champion at 130. You know, Jason Sosa didn't want to fight him because it said that he didn't want to fight him in Panama because Corrales is Panamanian. You see what I'm saying? And the WBA champion, you know, and, you know, you know, they might want to, they might just try to keep him with that belt. You see what I'm saying? With a Panama Armenian organization. You know, and if you look down the trough, what else is there? You know, what else is there? And I'm talking about that fans want to see. You know, but yet when you go up to 135, you know, Jorge Linares. You even got Rances Bartholomew, but he's moving to 140, ain't he? He's at 140 now, right? Let me fight at 140. You got Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter, Terry Flanagan, you know, and it's pretty, the pickings are pretty slim there. So he said that, meaning Lomachenko, that fighters, you know, other champions don't want to fight him, so he'll keep moving up just to get bigger fights. He'll keep moving up to get bigger fights. What tea am I drinking? Some cheap. No, this is the cheap stuff. I ran out of the good stuff. This is the cheap stuff. This is just a regular Lipton bag tea, but it has lemon juice and honey in it. You know, so I keep like a little bottle of honey. So basically, I put the tea bag in, put the water, squeeze a little honey over the fucking tea bag, put it in the microwave, take it out the microwave. You know, take the little lemon juice, pour a little lemon juice in it because I got tired of, you know, having to have cut lemons and squeezing them in there was a pain in the ass. You know, then I'd be good. I'd be good. So what's next on our list, man? You know, I mean, really, what else is there to talk about Lomachenko? You know, also, you know what I'm wondering? Did you notice that he beats fighters, you know, off an accumulation of punches and making them look stupid? But what happened? Like, what would happen if his power doesn't carry up? Now, it's interesting because I would love to see him versus Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is too big. You know, however, you look at the fact that Terence Crawford comes into the ring about 140. What is Terence Crawford coming to the ring at? Like 152, 148, 152, something like that at 140? And Lomachenko came into the ring tonight at 142. But I'm just saying his power doesn't carry up, so he would be relying on his boxing ability. Now, what I'm looking for is with this Terence Crawford versus Felix Diaz fight, we've seen so many different aspects of Terence Crawford's game I want to see him cut off the ring because Felix Diaz is going to be doing a lot of moving. Felix Diaz is about 5'5". Even though he's fought at 154 and 147, he's still going to be the smaller fighter or not as strong fighter in there. So I'm really interested to see Terence Crawford, cut off the ring because that'll give me a good gauge of how he would do against Lomachenko, if you take the power out of it. Can he cut off the ring? Because I expect, pound for pound, if Lomachenko and Crawford were to fight, right, you would think that Lomachenko being smart enough, he would use, movement, against Terence Crawford. Because Terence Crawford's got some skills and he's got the power. You don't want to be there in front of that. But does Crawford really have amazing feet? Like, where have you really, really seen that? Remember, you're talking to a person who's been covering Terence Crawford for years now, all of his fights. So I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm not underestimating him. But when you're fighting like a Lomachenko, you see what I'm saying? That's an Olympic gold medalist with arguably the best amateur record of all time since boxing has been organized. So he's seen so many different styles. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that Terence Crawford doesn't have good footwork. I'm not saying that. You're saying watch his training. That don't mean nothing to me. Training don't mean nothing to me, man. Come on, man. Motherfuckers be looking sharp and trapped. Like, once again, I see that this is going to go somewhere else where it's going to look like I'm not giving Terence Crawford his credit. I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to put it dead right there. I'm going to put it dead right there. I see you try to set me up to get into some debate, but, trying to twist my words. Nah, bro, you're missing what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying. Crawford did show excellent footwork with okay, here's the thing. To me, there's two different types of footwork. The footwork where you can cut off the ring and the footwork where you can be elusive like he was against Victor Postol. He was on his bike, but not in a bad way. It was in a strategic way. And also, he didn't gas out. He was doing a lot of moving in that fight. He fought a boxing, he put on a boxing, I guess you could say somewhat of a masterclass a bit. But when you're having to cut off the ring is a different type of movement to me. We see that Golovkin can cut off the ring, but guess what? When Golovkin was trying to cut off the ring or was cutting off the ring against Danny Jacobs, he wasn't throwing any punches because he was afraid to get countered back. So in my opinion, Crawford is barely 5'8". Nah, he's about 5'8". Crawford don't come in on 157 on a fight night. I'm talking about, listen, I'm talking about the number you see on the unofficial scale, bro. Logical, though. 17 pounds. Logical. I want Loma to shut up and clown Gervonta Davis. Listen, I don't even think he cares about Gervonta Davis because he can't get the fight. He can't get the fight. Rematch GGG and Jacobs should happen if Golovkin can't get Canelo. It doesn't work like that because he's already got mandatories ahead of him. Like, Danny Jacobs is now in the back of the line now. He's in the back of the line. He can't get no rematch no time soon. He's already had his shot. He was a mandatory. And now you want him to get another mandatory shot when there's there's two other belts now, two other number one contenders out there. Doesn't work like that, bro. Crawford unofficial around 165 though. Why y'all getting these inflated ass numbers? Dude, don't be looking at 165 in there. You see how huge Lamont Peterson be looking in there? Look how huge he was when he fought Danny Garcia. You saw that 165 on him. You saw that shit on him. Y'all tripping. What's your sources? You better screenshot me some shit. What's your sources, bro? I'm pulling a sources card. What's your sources? Where you getting this shit from? Somebody, I know it's late. You sipping on grandpa's cough medicine. Put the bong away. Change that bong juice. Bro, you're getting high off a bad batch. It's a bad batch. It's not my business. Whoever this fucking dude is. This fucking weird ass name. I should just, I'm getting tired of people with freak names. Yeah, Manny versus Home. Put it this way. A fight's not official until a press release comes out. Now, I know it's going to be some fucking schmuck in the chat room that's going to see, well, the fight can still be canceled because I seen they announced the fight and it got canceled. No, fuck that. A fight is official when a press release comes out. So if the fight is done but it's not officially signed, why? Because they can't really announce until they say a location and a venue. And the venue and location hasn't been finalized yet. Has Crawford ever had a fight night wait? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Deshaun. What the fuck is up with that, man? Like, and it's bad enough his name is already fucked up, and he always in the chat. The only reason why I don't ban him is because he's been around for quite some time. He's kind of like a regular. But his name, I can't never respond to any questions of his because of his fucking vulgar ass name. Dog, this is a PG show. This show is rated PG. Damn it. Okay, this show's not rated PG. Still. Loma versus Miura Salido. He can't fight Miura because Miura is supposed to be fighting Miura's supposed to be fighting Miguel Burchett. Fuckers great, forget that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, Jesus, a little bit later on. Hating on you. Look at your name, bro. Matter of fact, you're on timeout. You a freak. Get your name, bro. Like people like you gotta understand, right? Google and YouTube have merged. It's not like it used to be anymore. Like where you can make fake accounts and shit. So you may think your account fake, but really your shit is registered, yo. And for people like that work in YouTube, I'm not even gonna say it. But it's like this. Like, yo, bro, like you're a regular person and you a grown person and you got that fucking freak ass name. It's like what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? But then it's late, and you know what they say, the freaks come out at night. But then again, I always got to deal with freaks, man, on Facebook or Twitter or on Instagram. There's always some freaks around, man. But anyway, what's next on our list? Canelo versus Chavez. What do we got? We got like 28 days left, 27 days or some shit. That shit is here. I'm still pissed that there's not an HBO 24/7. He just admitted he's a spook for YouTube. What does that mean? Who is Keith Thurman fighting next? I don't know. I don't like the fact that Keith Thurman just has a fight and just falls off the fucking face of the earth. How you do a fight that does like 5 million, or 4 million plus on a higher end of 4 million plus views on national television, and you're not on ESPN First Take, you're not on no Fox Sports, you're not putting no tweets out unless you're calling out Manny, you're not doing any type of videos, no nothing. You just fall off the face of the earth. How's that happen? How is that acceptable? How is that sociably acceptable for him to do some crap like that? Keith fight one time. Yeah, that's his name too. Keith one time. Teach you almost said you work for YouTube and stop yourself. I do work for YouTube, motherfucker. Fuck you, retarded. The point I was trying to make is people who do videos on YouTube, basically we know how to like get your fucking real names and shit. So y'all be thinking y'all be slick, with these fucking freak ass names and shit. It's like, yo, we got fucking contracts with YouTube. We know how to go through all the fucking, you know, like shit. You see what I'm saying? You can't hide nothing from us. We all know about each other. It's just like one of them things that we really don't talk about. So when you come up with vulgar ass names, I know how to fucking do a few, you know, a few little clicks, a few little digits and clicks. I'm like, oh. And then motherfuckers be having like 5, 6 accounts and shit. It should be weird. You know, motherfuckers be weird. All these different identities, but you always have that one that's your real name. And then they'll have like all the other ones under it. Motherfuckers be weird, you know. But anyway. No, it's not that they don't have no life. They just be like gonna do dumb shit all the time. And it's like, come on, like I said, like it was like years ago, you was able to like have fake accounts on YouTube. Did you notice how much shit you got to sign up for to get a YouTube account, to be at a comment and shit? Did y'all notice that? You can't just put fake shit. You can't just put fake shit. You know, you got to put your fucking real information in this motherfucker. Usyk looks like the final fight champion from Fight Night. You talking about Alexander? What's with Isaac Frost? They said Alexander Usyk looked like Isaac Frost. Who got outboxed? You're not saying that Usyk got outboxed, did you? Let's stay on topic. So I'm gonna say it again. I know you're tired of it, but what if Chavez Jr. not drained? What if he not drained? What if Chavez Jr., you know, makes weight comfortably? Now, of course, let's not be naive. Don't be a fool. He's gonna look fucked up on that scale. He's gonna look fucked up, and the first thing he's gonna go do is grab that Pedialyte or whatever that long ass that fluid is, and he's gonna start drinking that fluid over on the sideline. He's gonna be fucked up. People, and what I've noticed is people act like he hasn't made 160 before. And people are acting like with the right focus in the training and the team, he can't make that 164.5. You know, and that's what I've noticed, that people are relying on that. They are relying on him not to make weight, and they're relying on him to be drained in the ring. But what if he's not drained? Now, Chavez reneged on the purse. Chavez reneged on it. But also, it's like this. You can't really be, you know what? No, I'm not going to Canelo versus Chavez. Stop asking me, yo, seriously. Don't ask me no more questions. Don't ask me no more questions this week. All right? Don't ask me no more questions. You fucking cock. This guy's screen name is Cock and Balls, right? You got no credibility around here. You get no respect with a freak name like that. Don't ask me no more questions, or I will ban you for eternity. I don't like seeing that name pop up in my chat. You freak. Anyway, what was I saying? Forgot what I was saying. Bastard made me break my concentration. I swear he asked me one more question, he's gone. He asked me one more question, he's gone. I'm going to kick him, I'm going to boot his ass. I'm going to boot his ass. He asked me one more question, I'm ready for you. Got those mouse fingers. So like I said, too many people are relying on Chavez to be drained. You talking about Porter versus Berto? No, I'm going to be at Porter versus Berto. Oh yeah. We know Chavez is gonna be fucked up at the weigh-in, you know? But at the same time, what if he makes weight? When I talk to Canelo fans, or more so the people who are saying Canelo's gonna win, their main argument is, well, Chavez is gonna be drained. He's gonna be looking like De La Hoya when De La Hoya fought Pacquiao. He gonna need pre-fight IVs for real, like Mayweather, to get rehydrated. People are saying shit like people are now nutritionists. They're master nutritionists like Chris Algieri and shit. Motherfucker saying shit. What did he say? What did he say? You know, they was looking at his Instagram, right? And you know how he got the picture of him in the sauna and he all cut and lean, you know. They like, look at him. How is he going to lose? He's looking like about 8.7, 8.2% body fat. How is he going to lose 3.82974 millomicrograms of body fat in a month? Motherfuckers is getting on. It's like, what the fuck you getting this shit? You know? Y'all getting this shit from? And it's like, why can't y'all just, you know, like, why can't you just look at it like this? Chavez is going to be bigger, right? He's taking punches from bigger fighters, right? The only fucked up part about it is he's a goddamn quitter. He quit against Vanfara. And then you have Canelo, who dropped his belt. So you have one who's a ducker. Fucking Chavez didn't drop his belt when people told him he was going to get his ass whipped by Sergio Martinez, did he? He took that ass whipping. And guess what? He ended Sergio Martinez's career. He took that ass whipping. Sergio Martinez was whooping his stoner ass. He smashed his face in. He smashed his face in. But then you got Canelo, who not real Mexican, by the way. I'm real Mexican. I know I'm more Mexican than he is. And when you don't see me dropping my belt never hit the floor. Damn it. How's Fight View 360 doing? Why do you care? But to say, truth be told, it's doing excellent. For a guy who started his own media publication that's going to be around forever, it's doing well. You know, so remember, it's like, yo, I started a fucking news website and I'm getting like, even though I'm not uploading it all, you know, because it's a lot of work, we're getting like all the news. So we can have that shit. But we're still learning. Shit's not even fucking 4 months old yet. Relax. It's not even 4 months old yet. You know? Give me some credit. I started my own news company. Crying out loud. Anyway. Ward lost to Kovalev. Ward is the $1 million baby. Special Canelo weight. Yeah, they got this weird looking ass belt for Canelo Chavez. You know, it's the 164.5. Where'd they come up with that weight? 164.5. You know, put it this way. You know what they got to do with those scale. You know what they got to do with their scale? They got to get that scale, right, that they're going to use, and they got to make sure that that scale is not that scale needs to be, that scale going to be or should be sequestered. That scale needs to be put in a special vault, right? Because God forbid Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is 164.51 or some shit, right? They're going to be, that shit going to be some super digital down to the millipound scale. What the fuck did they, how do you negotiate a weight like that? You don't say 165. You know, you say, that's some old Oscar De La Hoya shit. They say, well, you know, we can do 165, 164.5. How do you come up with that weight? I ain't never seen no shit like that before in my life. Have you ever had that? I mean, why 164.5? Why not 164.3 or 164.7? It's crazy. Damn it, Mel Toretto. I've watched the Earthlings documentary. If Chavez is over, what's the penalty? I don't know what the penalty is. I know it's going to be a lot. I forgot. Isn't it $1 million or some shit a pound? Or some shit, some old crazy shit? I forgot. But he gonna make that weight. No, this is not Canelo weight. This is okay, since it is super middleweight, right? But it's Canelo weight. It's light. Super Canelo. Super middleweight? No, it's deeper than super Canelo weight because you got to factor in it's in between those two weight classes. So it's not necessarily super Canelo weight because then you'll be giving him like his own. Fuck it is his own weight class, right? It's real confusing. It's real confusing. It's real confusing. The bottom of a cup of tea is always the best. Because that's when you get like all that shit that's settled to the bottom. Junior Canelo weight. Nah, Junior Canelo weight would be 152, wouldn't it? Isn't it like 152? No, but that was Mayweather weight. What's that? Nah, let's not start. Let's not start with the different weights. Y'all gonna confuse me. Y'all gonna confuse me. And it's all Oscar, man. It's all Oscar. Just like we might as well move on to the next subject. Just like Frank Warren, right, is saying, Frank Warren is saying that Golovkin team is like Frank Warren is like, yo, we paid Billy Joe Mandatory some step aside money to fight you, but yet we've been frauding. Now follow this shit. We've been frauding in the media, saying if Golovkin don't fight us, then we move it on. But they can't move on because they paid their mandatory step aside money. So all this long time, they've been waiting for Golovkin. They really actually been waiting for Golovkin. So now Golovkin team like, well, he injured. But they wasn't talking that injured shit until Oscar said, well, if you fight him in June, then you can't fight Canelo in September. So now Golovkin team like, nah, he injured. But then Abel Sanchez gonna be like, nah, we ain't hear none of that shit. So you got the promoters and shit like, shh, nigga, he injured. Shut up. It's crazy. It's crazy. You lucky, you crafty son of a bitch. I see how you put 500K. You lucky. That was crafty. Because if I would have saw a question mark, your ass was gone. What's up with Tank Davis and Tevin Former? Tevin Former can't get a fight right now. And Tank Davis is fighting Liam Walsh over in the UK. Big money fight over there. You know? So now it's looking like, well, we might as well say that if the fight was happening in June, meaning Golovkin versus Saunders, we would have heard something by now. You know, remember, we're in April. We're going into mid-April, basically. You see what I'm saying? So it's not happening in June. So I'm thinking that common sense would tell us that they're waiting, meaning Golovkin's team, for the outcome of Canelo versus Chavez. Maybe they're thinking like, yo. Who almost fought in Vegas? Robert Easter and Tank Davis is all hype. It's hard to say because they've been brought on to championships and they do have the skill set to be good, but are they really good? You know, it could be a similar Adrian Broner situation like we saw when I saw all those years back when he was being forced down our throats. And I was like, yo, way back during Fernando Quintero, which was his first gift, and that poor guy never fought again, to Dale Ponce de Leon. I said, yo, he's not really that good. You know, he lacks foot movement. And if you see those fucked up fucking troll feet he got, you'll know why he got fucked up foot movement. You know, those shits are fucked up. It's like, how you a fucking multimillionaire? You got those fucked up ass feet, bro. Don't get me wrong. My feet are not pretty. You know, but I got my man's feet. His shit is non-human. You know, they say that nigga like he been walking on hot coals. You know, they say he be sparring with his feet. You know, they was going in there. They said he got werewolf feet. They said the silver bullet hit him, not his feet. His feet never transformed back from wolf status. You see that shit? Let's go look at them real quick. Shit's fucked up. I know it's disgusting, but you got to see the jokes. They got jokes for this, for Adrian Broner feet. They're going in on his feet. They are fucked up, though. So I was like, no wonder why poor son of a bitch don't got no foot movement. Them shits is fucked up. You know? Poor guy. Poor guy. Let's see here. Look at this shit. Look. It said this little in-foot knee. What is this? You got this poor toe. It's just no wonder why he got on. Then you can see his arches are so low. You know? So let's look at some of the jokes. What's going in? Spent over $100 on jury with that fungus on his feet. Yeah, that's crazy. You got that's true. That's true. That's true. That was going on his feet. His toes matched the color of the marble floor. Bigfoot little brother. He needs to pressure clean those toenails. Wearing those fucked up ass shoes and shit. He gonna need those fish pedicures Floyd did last year, but with Paradas. Look up running shoes with wide toe box, man. No, I don't want to. I'm gonna be cracked. That's Teen Wolf feet. I can't see it. They must be camouflaged. They're going in on him. Nigga feet need all state. Nigga big toes got tinted windows. Nigga feet, oh no. So his feet got tinted windows. That nigga been sleeping upside down like a bat with them shits. Oh, the internet is not kind, yo. The internet is not kind, yo. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, man. No wonder his feet. Look, that's messed up, AB. No wonder why life is so hard for you, man. No wonder why this looks painful, though. This looks bad right here. You know, it's just not in God's will for him to have good feet. He got hobbit feet. He said he got hobbit feet. They said he got hobbit feet, yo. They weird looking. Said he be doing oil changes and tune-ups with his feet. He doing oil changes and tune-ups with his feet. You know? And it's like you can see why he don't got no foot movement, man. Why he can't move around. His feet must hurt all day, every day, and then he wearing fucking dumbass shoes and shit. How you got these nice ass shoes on with your feet fucked up? You know, like how are you wearing nice shoes? This is what I don't understand, right? How do you wear nice shoes that you pay all these money for, but your feet fucked up? Does that mean that you're wearing small shoes? You know, why aren't your feet comfortable? You know, if I'm wearing some nice ass fucking sneakers, or if I'm like this freak, you know, that was some freak shit, AB. I'm just, you know, the fucks with you heavy. I'm just, you know, just saying. You know, you're just wearing platform shoes, bro. You know, did you have some fucking orthopedic? What's that shit, Dr. Scholl's? You know, up in there? Y'all got my fucking Nike fucking shits on. I got my fucking Nike shits on. But it's like, come on, man. It's like, yeah, how do you spend $1,000? Oh, you had it. Then he said he got the gout. Is that the gout? I never knew what the gout was. Is that what the gout is? AB got the gout? AB about bunions. But it's like, come on, your feet are important. You know, you got to walk on them shits forever, for your whole life. You know? You want them shit to be nice. So it's like this, right? If you're wearing some $1,000 Gucci fucking shoes, right? Them shits better be comfortable. You better be walking. I better be walking on air. Them shits better heal my feet. I better put some fucking $1,000 shoes on. And by the time I take those shoes off, I still feel like I had the shoes on for days. Like my feet need to get high. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what's up with that. And it's a shame because, no, that's not the gout. Actually, gout makes your shit look crooked. I need to look up what the gout is. You sure AB don't got the gout? You sure he don't got the gout? I don't even know what it is. I just heard this is some horrible foot shit that happens to your feet. And you don't want those problems in your life. I heard you don't want the gout. I heard you be fucked up. He need to leave Big Ash alone. That's what he need to do. He knows what I'm talking about. You better leave Big Ash alone with that fucking 6X white tee. It was fresh though. It was a fresh white tee. But still, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows who Big Ash is. He knows who Big Ash is. So what's next on the agenda? What's next on the agenda? What were we talking about? Did we cover the most important topics? We covered Ward Kovalev, Lomachenko, Sosa, Canelo, Chavez. Yeah, let me finish this. I like the fact they don't have no HBO 24/7. What is up with that? Who made that call? Who made the call that they said, well, we're not going to do it HBO 24/7? I want to see, you know what I want to see? You know what I want to see from HBO 24/7? I wanted to see them with that storyline of how De La Hoya beat Chavez Sr. and how it's up to Chavez Jr. to avenge the loss by beating Oscar De La Hoya's #1 fighter in Canelo. I wanted to see that storyline shit. I want to see Canelo. I want to see them showing Chavez training his ass off, or maybe eating cereal in his living room again, you know, after coming downstairs late, you know, after his pop been up all night chain smoking. You know, I want to see all of that. Yeah, Stevenson for Foreign 2 is happening on June 3rd. You know, I mean, it's like, how could they? Don't get me wrong, they have this Mexican special coming on. You know, I'm not saying it's not going to be good, but for crying out loud, this is, if anything, HBO 24/7 is going out of business. I heard they're not making money because Floyd was Showtime and they have more views than HBO. You tripping? Where do you get that from? No, they're not going out of business. They still do HBO 24/7, but they pick and choose when they do it. So therefore, instead of doing one episode of HBO 24/7, they decided to do this thing. So you got to think, if they had the money to do this, they could have did HBO 24/7, but they decided to go a different route. You see what I'm saying? They decided to go a different route. Now, I'm pretty sure it's going to have some aspects of HBO 24/7, but it's not HBO 24/7. You see what I'm saying? Are they even planning an HBO 24/7 for Canelo Chavez? No, there's not going to be one. There's going to be a face-off. Floyd claims that he owns that shit. Floyd can claim all he wants. He don't own it. And if anything, him and Oscar were co-owners if he want to say that they own it, but that's not true either. Because it started because of him and Oscar was the A-side at that time. It's just that Floyd at that time made HBO 24/7 what it was because of his controversial shit. You know, so it's not going out of business. You know, it's just that they chose, you know, to go this route. And it's like, yo, those HBO 24/7s, like just like those old Muhammad Ali documentaries and Sugar Ray Leonard documentaries and Mike Tyson documentaries, those HBO 24/7s are going to be classics going forward in the future. Just like every time I want to laugh, right, and I want to be freaked out at the same time, I go watch Miguel Cotto sleeping with his homie and put his or if I want to see fucking Marquez drink some piss, you know, and go watch the old HBO 24/7. You see what I'm saying? Marquez drunk piss on HBO 24/7. Miguel Cotto put his finger up his homie butt on HBO 24/7. That's must-see TV. Marquez drinking piss, not that old freak shit Cotto be into. Yeah, it's going to be a face-off. The face-off is on April the 29th. That HBO 24/7 for Kovalev versus Ward. It was 2 episodes, wasn't it? If I'm correct? Or was it 1? I probably was just 1. Those are some classic HBO 24/7s. You know, especially when Floyd was clowning Marquez for drinking that piss, or when he was clowning Cotto for sleeping with that man and putting his make me sick. And I'm never going to forgive Marquez for that. I'm never going to forgive him for that. He is never going to live it down. And I know There's going to be one day I'm going to have to interview him. And if I'm fucking 50 and he's 70, I'm going to be like, can you talk to us about what was the thought process of you? I can't say piss. I say, of you drinking your own urine? And my face will start squinching up while I'm looking at him like, you nasty motherfucker. Or, I just ask him like, do you advise other fighters to drink piss? He drunk piss. He drunk piss. Let me stop. I'm gonna go on all night. Let me stop. I remember that at 24/7 the fight, Scott. When Mayweather held his piss, he riding around. What's that? He was on a Segway or some shit. They waiting for him to piss, and then he pissed out that brown ass piss. Floyd got some fucked up looking piss too. It's like, what do y'all be drinking or not drinking? Didn't Roach get kicked in the chest on 24/7? I think Roach did get that Leonidas kick. I think that was 24/7. Pacquiao versus was it Rios or Algieri? Rios. And Rios was on the treadmill looking like, oh shit. When shit started going down, yeah? Alex Ariza kicked the shit out of him. So he was doing a video with Radio Raheem, right? Me and Freddie Roach. He had this big ass footprint. It was fucked up at the time. It was fucked up at the time. He had this big ass fucking size 7. You even saw the logo. Yeah, he kicked this shit out of him in his chest. And Freddie was like, ugh. Oh man, that was HBO 24/7. That's some classic shit, right? Just like when we saw HBO 24/7, right? Where Chavez Sr.'s up all night, right? Remember, we was talking about it earlier. Chavez Sr. up all night. He chain smoked. I remember he got this green polo shirt on, with like stripes in it. He up all night chain smoking, fucking whatever fucking he smoked. Marlboro menthols or some shit, no filter. He probably ripped the filter off, just smoked a cigarette. He up all night. So Chavez Sr. wake up late. Chavez Jr. wake up late, hair all fucked up and ruffled. He got these pink underwear on, but they like fucking they briefs. Look at these pink. He's got these pink briefs on. So he eating cereal. He probably been up for hours, but he was trying to act like he was asleep, not to wake nobody up. He probably did playing some fucking Call of Duty 4 or some shit, right? So he come downstairs. So his pop walk up to him like, yo, his pop been up all night, chain smoking. Like, yo, listen, I saw this. So if you do this, yada yada yada. Chavez put his cereal down. Go jump in the pool. HBO 24/7. HBO 24/7. And they're not gonna give us an HBO 24/7 for this shit. You see HBO 24/7, you see Chavez training in his in somebody's driveway. It wasn't his driveway, in somebody's driveway, and they barbecuing on this fucking little ass grill. You know how like when you drunk or you high with your homies and y'all have like a grill around? Y'all don't care if the grill has been clean or nothing. You just grab some burgers out the fridge or whatever fucking random ass meat you got in there, throw it on the grill. That's the type of shit Chavez was on. The type of shit Chavez was on. But now they're gonna deny us of this. I want to see what type of shit Chavez Jr. getting into. Because he looked like he's training his ass off, but sometimes he be in the trap house or somewhere that looks like the trap. He be somewhere that look like the trap. He put some videos up where he's doing like some old exclusive ass CrossFit leapfrog type shit. He out there, he was hooping. I don't know why he took the video down. He was out there hooping. So Chavez training his ass off, man. Chavez training his ass off. But yet we're not gonna get no 24/7. Now the face-off is gonna be funny. The face-off between him and between Chavez And Sergey was funny as hell because Chavez just kept smiling, pointing at his chin. He didn't get knocked out, though, or knocked down. He did get his face smashed in. He did get his face. Well, HBO has a pretty strong lineup of fights. If you look at the fact that they doing Crawford versus Diaz, and then doing remember, they had, now not all of them are going to be good fights, right? But what I'm saying is when you look at their string, their 6 month, you can say 6 to 8 month between Kovalev Ward 2, between Kovalev Ward, Canelo Chavez, Crawford Diaz, they had Golovkin Jacobs, and now Ward Kovalev 2. That's a strong lineup of fights. So for people say that HBO been going down, they're out there, they're putting on some quality fights, They already did a face-off in the Spanish network a month ago. Well, motherfucker, where's it at? I would love to see it. I used to love to see it. I would love to see it. Ooh. So what's next on the agenda, man? Teach your mama so fat that when she fell, no one was laughing. Hey, fuck you, man. My mom come here talking that shit. Matter of fact, 300-second ban for you, bitch. You're banned for 300 seconds, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm the man. HBO putting on scraps is just on it's just on any Al Heyman type shit. What do you mean? HBO putting on scraps is just on any Al Heyman type shit. I mean, Al Heyman blowing the competition out of water. Heyman's having a good year because you know why? Because he's being. I mean, if you look at it, it had to come because he's been. He's been building up these fighters for so long. It's about time they start fighting each other and start really, getting into big fights. So I like the fact that he's getting aggressive with his matchmaking of his fighters because he's like, look, yo, if y'all want to get fights, you got to fight on HBO, and we can't just have you on HBO fighting bullshit fights. If you want to fight on Showtime, then Showtime don't want you in bullshit fights. You want to fight on free TV? Free TV's got to be big fights now. You see what I'm saying? Well, remember, HBO is not known or haven't been known to have back-to-back pay-per-views. They have a pay-per-view in May with Canelo versus Chavez and a pay-per-view in June with Ward versus Kovalev II. So that could be a reason why they said, well, let's cut some corners somewhere, to ensure that we at least make some money. For example, Ward versus Kovalev 2 is not in T-Mobile Arena, but yet it's in the Mandalay Bay. PBC running Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. Tuesdays, yes. Fridays, once they bring back PBC on Spike. And Saturdays, no, not so much. Not so much. But PBC is doing better. They should have, the things they're doing now, they should have been doing. That's the issue. So you think Ward can move up the cruiser and take Usyk's power? I have questions about Usyk power. But at the same time, Usyk is a cruiserweight that's going to be fighting in heavyweight soon. So it all depends. But I don't know. I question Usyk's power. I question his power. Kind of like Lomachenko, he beats you off an accumulation. I'm not clicking that link. You guys can't be trusted. I'm telling what's in that goddamn link. None of y'all can be trusted. I don't trust none of you. Did they ban Angel Garcia from boxing yet? No, why would they? Angel Garcia sells fights. Y'all talking about Ward fighting this person, and he gotta fight. He gotta beat Kovalev first. Oh shit, I gotta get out of here soon. I mean, I gotta get off of here soon. I'm gonna see my beautiful little girl today. It's like Easter next week, ain't it? Something like that. Probably get her an Easter basket. Something. Yeah, I can't trust none of y'all. I'm not. Gvozdyk got power. Yeah, Gvozdyk does got power. He has power. He's in a situation where he's not going to be getting a title shot anytime soon. But what? He's only 13-0. I forgot how old he is, but he still has time. T Street, do you think Ward will beat Kovalev even easier this time? I don't know. I'm on the fence. Because factor in that knockdown, right? What if that knockdown didn't occur? You know? Factor in that knockdown. When is Bertabiev getting a title shot? Bertabiev is going to be the next #1 contender. Okay, Bertabiev should be getting his title shot unless the winner of Kovalev Ward fights the winner of Stevenson versus Fonfara, then Bertabiev would be next. But if winner of Kovalev Ward fights the winner of Stevenson Fonfara, then Bertabiev can get his title shot, I would say like around, and like basically by like or before or around March of 2018. But if the winner doesn't fight Stevenson or Fonfara, he can get his title shot, I guess, at the end of the year, you know, or before the end of the year, like whatever their next fight is going to be. Because remember, they're fighting in June, so he can get his title shot like November or December, something like that. Is Golovkin damaged goods? It's hard to say. I don't think so. I just think that he respected Danny Jacobs' power. Why do you keep trying to find that video? They're showing you on some freak shit. And also, one of the reasons why, my bad, not really, you're not. One of the reasons why is they made that video very hard to find for a reason. That's why I forgot. They made that video very, very hard to find. And the one you're going to find is very grainy and old. It's very grainy. It's not a high quality one. It's HBO 24/7 Mayweather versus Cotto episode 2. Mayweather versus Cotto episode 2. You know, so if you find it, you know, you're not gonna like what you find, man. It's like, yo, bro. And the thing is, when I first saw it, I thought like, okay, well, they've been like childhood friends and shit. Don't you know they just met each other like fucking in like that shit was in 2012. They had just met each other in like 2009 or some shit. Don't you know they wasn't even friends that long? You know, I thought that let me shut up. I don't want to get in trouble. Let me shut up. Because I don't want no trouble with Roc Nation. I don't want trouble with nobody. You know, leave me alone. You want to cover the fights. You know, it's not my place. All right? So I'm going to leave that shit alone. Don't get me to talk about Marquez and that piss. I don't care. He drunk pee. Somebody's got to talk about it. And it's not a healthy pee he was drinking either. I don't know what that shit he was drinking. Listen, bro, you keep saying you want to find it. You're not going to like what you find, man. You don't say I didn't warn you. You're not going to like. What's up with Jesse Vargas? Word is him and Timothy Bradley are in some type of negotiations, man. But that's true. Jesse Vargas needs to be active. You know, he fought what? That fight was in November. We're now in fucking April. You know? Yeah, I'm going to be at Porter versus Berto. I'm sure one of the main reasons I want to be there is because I know Keith Thurman's going to be there. And I know Errol Spencer's going to be there. You know, the Charlos are going to be there. So there's going to be a lot of people to interview there. But yeah, it's not a fight that nobody's really talking about, you know? The winner is going to be the #1 contender for Thurman. But word is Thurman versus Garcia 2 is going to happen. Where? We don't know. You know? What's going to happen? We're going to be getting out of here in 5 minutes. I got shit to do. Feel me? So like I said, man, I'm blessed, man. You guys are sticking around. Like I said, I'm not here to the goal is, like, I know I'm not going to catch my my competitors. The goal is to leapfrog them. So what I'm doing is I'm making advances. You see what I'm saying? You know, I'm making advances. I'm getting all new shit. You know, but what I'm doing right now is I'm stabilizing my life. I've been stabilizing my life, and the goal is, you know, to leapfrog my competitors, but not catch them. And to leapfrog them, you got to be, you know, consistent. You got to obviously got to up the quality. We're going, you know, full 1080p. We're going to do 1080p live streams. You know, obviously we're going to have better lighting. Everything's going to be Fight View 360, not just hoodies. You know, hats, everything. We got a lot of things, you know, going on. As you can see, I'm getting to more boxing events. I'm at a boxing event. I'm going to be in New York on Monday for the Kovalev II press conference. I was just in New York for the Luis Ortiz press conference a couple of weeks ago. We're going to be covering a fight a month now, like actually a live event a month now. You know, we're getting there. The website is up and running, as you can see. Not as consistent as I wanted to be because I'm still bringing on a team and we're still getting like the vision of everything going. You know, things are going well. You know, like well, and I'm really just trying to get you know, like back just to be like consistent again, because you know you get tired of not making no money, man. So it's like I need the channel to generate money, so I stop losing money. So therefore, the money I'm spending on going to these events and sending people to events is not coming directly out of my pocket. You know, that's what you have a business for. That's what the channel's revenue is for, is to send people and stuff. You know. So that's what I want to get everything back, you know, to where it used to be, you know, when I was struggling, but now bring that income back in and just say, poof, because we're already sending people to fights, you know, and I'm covering that shit, you know. So you get tired of like losing money, you know, and then the team is growing, you know. I already found my niche. The podcast can't start until things are ready to be consistent. So basically, I've now been in this house I got here the week before. I bought the house on February the 3rd. I got here the week before Thurman versus Garcia. Yeah, I'm heavyweight. I'm 250 pounds, 255. I got here the week before Thurman versus Garcia. So now things are finally like settling down. So now I got to get all this shit done. You know, I wanted to get it done when I first moved in, but then I got sick and I was dealing with all that Thurman Garcia stuff, and I just was stressing. So therefore, I said, let me fall back and, you know, not kill myself getting all this shit done. So now, in order to start the podcast, you know, all this has got to be done. I don't want to start the podcast until I could be able to do it comfortably, consistently, you know, because it's going to be Mondays. It's going to be, because I'm tall, I'm 6'3". It's going to be Mondays, you know, so I'm getting all new everything. I already got a lot of stuff that I haven't even opened or put together yet. You know, like I got a new desk that wraps around. When I get this done, I gotta get the floor done, getting the walls done, and the walls are actually going to be modernized panels, so it's going to have like a studio. It's going to have like a studio feel, you know. So I said it before, but I'm getting like a television put in, you know, so I can be able like to show, you know, like highlights and stuff like that. I've already reached out to like networks, you know, to make sure that they don't copyright me and all that type of shit. So far it's going good. And then these are going to be podcasts. So remember, going forward in the future, I'm not going to be playing music. You know, I'm going to be just I'm just going to be, you know, playing the highlights and everything before. It's a new program I've been learning. It's called Wirecast. You know, there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit. So the videos are the easy part. It's all the stuff I'm doing behind the scenes. Like, you know, there's no better way to say it. And I understand that I be making shit look easy, you know, but I started a motherfucking media company. I started a news company. You know, I know it's like going over people's heads a little bit, but I started a news company, a media company. We just don't interview, as you can see, we don't interview, you know, just up and coming boxers and fighters. We're interviewing like superstar fighters and shit, you know? So it's a lot, you know, that be going on behind the scenes. I just be making shit look easier. People think that for some reason I just do videos and I just don't be having shit else to do throughout the day. You know, I had to go a little bit crazy doing this shit. You know, pissing people off, pissing chicks off, you know. You know, people think I'm on some old fucking weird shit, but it's like, yo, I've learned, you know, and I've read about it and I've heard before, like when you start like a business or where you're doing the things that I'm trying to accomplish or have accomplished, you got to be by yourself and nobody's not going to understand you. You know, nobody's not going to understand, I guess, you know, if that makes sense. It happens, you know, it's happened to everybody who started something, you know, nobody's going to understand. You know, so you have to just be dealing with just like being alone and shit, you know, and like, you know, just being persistent. So I'm on some shit like, well, once everything's all said and done, and it's very close, you know, to being all said and done, you know, then I'm not accepting. No, you're not going to try to come back and, you know, like be all, you know, my friend and shit when I'm out here, you know, like fucking building a brand. GGG Golovkin. I'm warning you to stop or I'm going to ban you forever. And because it's like you're spamming now, bro. And I turned spam off because they can automatically spam, you know, like get rid of spam, you know, but I don't want to get rid of you, bro. I read somewhere in the UK that they're saying 1 in 5 business owners are lonely. I mean, that's true. Because it's like, how can I put it? Like, I be having so much shit to do every day that you have like low tolerance for shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like this. Like, I don't have any problems meeting women. I just don't be having time for this shit. It just be too much shit. It's like, yo, I got shit to do. You know? I got a lot of shit to do than to listen to like dumbass shit. So it's like you gotta mentally stimulate me. I already been through the phase in life where I was sleeping around and I had all the women and everything. Now I don't got none. You know, and honestly, I'm cool with that because I wake up every day happy. You know, I got money. You know, I don't have to worry about, you know, fucking, you know, having to pay for this shit or having to pay for her shit or helping her with this or helping that. Saying I wouldn't, you know. But, you know, I wake up happy every day, not stressing. You see what I'm saying? You know, but don't get me wrong. Even though, you know, I work from home, like there's so much shit I got to do. So technically, I work like, you know, an average of probably like 12 hours a day. For real, for real. For real, for real. We're like 12 hours fucking day. Let's see how much time we got left. Another 6 minutes. Yeah, put it this way. It's like this, right? Like dating is hard because, you know, chicks don't understand like the level of what it is that I do. They think I'm on some like low level type shit. They think that I just be, you know, that it's just like, oh, he's doing this, you know. They don't understand like the magnitude of it. So they think I'm just some regular ass YouTube dude that just, you know, it's not, you know. It takes somebody like really, really, you know, educated to understand. Like I was dealing with this chick before. I pissed her off because I understand that, you know, I was on some nut ass shit, on some like some weirdo type shit, but I do everything by myself. So I was really under a lot of stress. I had just bought a house. I'm a full-time caregiver. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of shit, and I started my own business and getting everything back off the ground. So I was having like mood swings and shit, but you know, shit happens. So it's like I would explain to her. I was like, okay, I apologize. You know, I didn't mean to snap on you or curse you out when you was, you know, doing this type of shit or saying this. But it's like, yeah, what it is, you know. So it's like to do what I want to do, you know, in boxing, to do what I want to do as far as a man and for my family. And right now, it's crazy because even though I'm alone, I already accomplished like everything a man is supposed to accomplish, I guess. You know, I own my home. Like literally, I own my home. I own my vehicle. I own my business, you know? And I have a nice financial cushion like for me and my family going forward in the future whenever I decide to start one. But at the same time, like to do all that at such a young age, I'm talking about like even though I'm 33, I mean like as far as you know, having all those things in place, shit took a toll on me. It took a toll on me. So now I've just been focusing on myself, working on my business, and I be on some cool shit, you know? I don't be drinking no nothing. I literally be on some cool shit. I be calm and shit every day. You know, I'm a lot more healthier every day now. You know, I wake up happier every day now. I'm much more well rested every day. Well, see, it's like this. If you're dating, right, you can't put it this way. Running a business and dating or starting a business and dating is very, very, very difficult because you have to have that time for that person to get to know that person. But also, you really don't want to. Usually, sometimes you be wanting to get to know them and fuck. But you really can't do that. And also, you know, it's that distraction. Like, you don't want to have like an argument or you don't want to have a bad day, you know, thinking about somebody when it's like you got so much other shit like that you need to be like productive with. You know, so that's why, you know, I had to talk with somebody that was like, well, listen, you need to deal with somebody that's like in a professional setting just as yourself, like somebody that has like a lot of okay, Golovkin, GGG Golovkin. Just leave, bitch. Just leave. You on some weirdo shit, just leave. Like, or I'm gonna block you. So it's like, and it's the last fucking 3 minutes of the stream. I always do this, it's nothing new. But it's like this, put it this way. When people keep spamming and shit, like this GGG boxing guy said, this is clickbait, LOL. He's talking about girls. And then he responds again. He says, not boxing. And then remember, earlier in the video, he was putting all these comments of dumb shit. So it's like this, technically, bro, you're not a supporter. You're not a friend. You're a fan. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, even though you want me to talk about boxing, you're going to continue to watch. You're going to continue to watch, you know, and you're going to be here each week afterwards. Because you know why? Because you're a weirdo and you're a fan and you want to get my attention. So it is. So now look, you know, I travel, you know, now, as you've noticed, I'm getting to like more events, you know, I'm getting to new, you know, like I should be in New York for every boxing event, but as you see, I'm getting to more now. You know, I'll be comfortable getting up and going, you know, I'll be at nice ass places and shit. Yeah, I'm working on going vegan, you know, but I'm not going to ever be a full vegan. I'll probably be like a half vegan, but then again, you're not really vegan, but I'll be some shit. But yeah, and I've been stopped eating trash food. You know, I don't eat like takeout or anything anymore. Who you got, Brooke or Spence? I'm going with Brooke, man. I'm going with Brooke. I'm going with Brooke. I'm going with Kel Brooke. We're covering that fight. Highly interested. We're covering that fight. My tea is cold again, so that means it's almost time to go. But actually, what time did we start? What time did the music start? We played exactly 10 minutes of music. So which means I still have 11 minutes because basically I edit that first 10 minutes out and then it'll be a solid 2-hour video. You know, it'll be a solid 2-hour video. So I'm definitely for real leaving in 10 minutes. So let's do a quick wrap up of boxing news, or you can ask me any questions and I'll answer your questions for the last 10 minutes. So I'm allowed to edit like the music part out now. It takes about like 4 or 5 hours or so. And that's why a lot of people say, oh, I can't see the video where I'm at. No, you're not getting another hour. We're leaving. It's 3:30. We started at 1:30, but I started the video exactly at 1:30. But I remember we started talking at 1:40. So which means we got to go to 2:40 so I can edit out that 10 minutes. And also it makes it easier to edit out once I know the exact time we started. So I can say, okay, you know, trim to the 10-minute mark and then start from there. I have the Galaxy S8 Edge and S7 Edge and this other low tier Samsung one. Low tier Samsung one. But of course I'm getting the S8. But I'm afraid, man, because in a way, I don't really. Okay, it's like this. I don't really need those problems in my life. Like I don't want like my phone to blow up in my pocket or in my face. So I'm afraid of that. I got bad luck. So that's one thing I don't want. I don't want. I want to get the new S8, the new S8. And I'm already ready for it. Because I'm going to have the service from my other phone switched over to this one and then make the S8 Edge my main phone. But I don't want that shit to blow up. I really don't need those type of problems in my life. You see what I'm saying? Why did you stop inviting people on your live feed? Because I'm waiting for I stopped it because I wanted to wait till I started a podcast. So we're gonna do that again. Before I start the podcast, we're gonna do that in a couple of weeks. I'm actually gonna allow people to join in again, to make things more interesting around here. We might do it for Canelo Chavez. Because I plan on doing like a fucking 4-hour live stream after that fight. Plan on doing a 4-hour live stream after that fight. What's the next big fight you're looking forward to? Probably Berto versus Porter, because I'm gonna be there. Who do you want to see Luis Ortiz face after Derek Rossi? He's gonna be facing somebody in the top 15 next. I would like to see him versus a Dylan White or something, because they're saying he's not going after a title shot until after Joshua Klitschko, or Pulev, What's the latest on Ears Lindy Lara? We don't know what the fuck's going on with Ears Lindy Lara. We already talked about Canelo versus Chavez, but I got Chavez, for those who don't know. Why did you not look at UFC tonight? Well, because I was covering boxing, and isn't that a common sense question? And remember, I started this stream actually earlier than I started usual live streams. I started this stream 40 minutes after the HBO telecast went off. So I got UFC. I'm going to watch that actually while I go to sleep and while I'm editing this video after this. I'm not covering no UFC over no boxing. Well, UFC covers return, of course. I watch all. Put it this way: I watch all UFC events. I watch all UFC events. How much minutes we got left? 7 minutes. I watch all UFC events. I just don't cover them. Why? Because I'm learning the sport. We just got access, meaning Fight View 360, to Bellator, and we had Bellator already, but now we got access to UFC events. So no, we don't have access to get credentials to UFC events. We gotta pay our dues first. But as far as press conferences, media workouts, all that stuff, we have access to them now. So that was a big step for us. Like, UFC don't fuck around when it comes to their media events. So we're working. But remember, like I said, I'll say it once again. I know I'll be making shit look easy, but running a fucking media website is, I know, because it's like this. I know, because you guys have known me and been watching me for years and shit. I started a media business. It's not easy. I did some shit that people have been trying to do their whole lives in like a fucking year. No, on some real shit. So it's not easy what I had to do. You don't understand like how much work I had to do. Remember when I wasn't doing videos for 19 months, basically. What do you think I was doing? Researching my ass off all day, every day, watching other people. And studying and making sure I know how this works and what that means and how to do this and that. That shit wasn't easy. So I know I made this shit look easy, but Fight View 360, you know how many compliments I get on that? You know how many, and the shit's not even done yet. You know how many people have been trying to do what I've done? They've been trying to do what I've done for fucking, their whole life. And they still didn't get this shit done. So I made sure that my website not only was strong, but it has the potential to be better than everybody else's. I'm talking about as far as features and shit like that. So the template is there. Now it's all about, like putting it to use, but to do it properly, no, I don't watch anybody's videos. I thought we talked about that. I don't watch people's videos because can't you not tell I don't watch people's videos unless it's like an interview? Because if you watch people's videos, it fucks with your creativity. You'll subliminally yeah, I bought that UFC pay-per-view and I shouldn't have either because my cable bill ain't been paid yet. But you can't watch other people's because you'll start saying shit or using certain mannerisms of them subliminally. 4 minutes left and we are stopping this fucking video. Why you asking, James Rich? Once again, I'll tell y'all, shit's not done yet. You're not giving me, put it this way, y'all putting too much pressure on me, yo. Like, yo, shit's not like we're like, listen. I see now I can't get you guys to understand. I can't get you guys to understand like the magnitude of what I've done. So just hang in there. Things are gonna get better over time. Just hang in there. Things are getting more consistent. We're learning more things, but the key, subconsciously, yes. But the key is I need my personal life to be in order, which it is, but now I'm stabilizing in the new house. Yeah, I don't know if Usyk Gonzalez is done, but he looked real drunk out there tonight. Because doing this media stuff and doing videos is like and sending people to fights is like that's like a 16-hour-a-day job for real, because you always got to be, news don't sleep, There's always some news coming out, especially on a Saturday night. You know what the goal is, or something I have to do going forward in the future? Not only do I have to do a video after a fight, but do a podcast after a fight or fights, and do articles after fights, or proofread, edit, and upload articles from various different fighters after fights. While if people are at the fights, coordinate and edit all the content they're sending to me from the fights. That's what we're preparing for. We got a lot of shit on our plate. That's why we're starting by covering one fight a month. Hell yeah, I think Al Heyman. I wish I can tell y'all, man, but PBC helped me a lot. They follow me on Twitter, and it's not because they help. PBC helped me. We'll just leave it at that. They did something major for me. When was that? In June or July? Was it in July of 2015? It wasn't 2016. It had to be. It was 2015. July of 2015. And this was when I was having some problems with, I can't even mention, that other place I used to, that other news company. But they helped me a lot, Ever met Don King? Nah, I never met Don King. I'm supposed to meet him. I'm supposed to meet him at Berto versus Porter. Tisha, you worry about Syria and Russia? A little bit. More Russia than Syria, but we're not gonna talk about politics. We got 1 minute left. See, look, y'all was trying to get me to miss my fucking deadline. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Did you ever come to the UK? Nah, I was supposed to come for Klitschko versus Joshua, but that's April the 29th. I'm glad I didn't plan that trip. I wouldn't have been ready. I'm not ready for that trip yet. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm just not ready yet. I really wanted to do Joshua versus Klitschko, but the politics of going to that fight, which we're working on now to make sure we have no issues with that going forward in the future. That's why covering Brook versus Spence is a real big deal for us. So, oh yeah. So, all right, guys, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing a live stream sometime this week. Y'all know what I'm doing tomorrow, meaning Monday. I'm going to be at Ward versus Kovalev II press conference. We're going to make sure we get some good content for you guys. We're going to have some good content. We're going out there to be number one, and that is it. you know, and then I'm going to do I'll likely do a live stream after the press conference, probably about 6 hours after the press conference and stuff, once I get like settled in at home and get some of the key stuff uploaded. But we got some good quality stuff coming for you guys. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Thank you for the support. We're back full time now. Please subscribe.